3, 2, 1, 0. Let's start.
Good evening and welcome to the Nighttime Heat right here on Prom FM 105.5. I've been out, for the past a little over 2 weeks, and David Tabwa has been sitting in. He did extremely well, holding on and making sure that the Nighttime Heat program is on the air. And so let me give him that public commendation for David Benedictus Rasmus Nambo Tabwa. But I've been out and for some traumatic reason, man, darling wife has not been feeling too well, and I had to, make sure, cater for her and attend to her, take her to hospital and all of that. But we've got above, I think, all is well now. She's trying to recover, and she's recovering very speedily. And so I'm here tonight on the Nighttime Heat. I've been following since I've been out, but we've been also listening and watching and putting our ears to all of the events taking place, sort of the happenings, the issue of drugs. We understand today His Excellency President Joseph Imabwaka should have held a security meeting, a very, very important meeting. Where it was held, we tried establishing contact with the presidential press secretary to just bring us up to speed whether that was done. But we are not getting Kula Fofana. We're going to talk about a couple of things we have on the program. A guest here tonight, one of our good friends, one of the loud talking, tough talking representative in the House of Representatives. He's Smo Molba. Smo is here, and of course he'll be here for, I'm sure, 45 minutes. A couple of things also in his district. We're going to talk about that. Some weeks ago, his district people, I'm sure I do have the video. Some youth in the district were very angry, and so they went mocking, another word, making some allegations against him. We're going to talk about that. He also been making some major national comments. We're going to look into all of that, and then after which, my panelists and I are going to do some analysis of what's happening now. I'm sure you're quite aware that the Drugs Enforcement Agency has cracked. First to leave was the Deputy for Operations. He was, to understand, allegedly linked, and so he was removed. And then later on, we heard about Biago, in fact, Gerald Biago. Biago is out also. He asked, to recuse himself. We're going to talk about that as well on the program. The panelists and I are going to talk about the Deputy Prison Superintendent. He's also been alleging, making allegations, making some comments about his incarceration. But the Ministry of Justice came out to clarify. We'll be looking at that as well. Latest reports say that the private bar owner, the chief executive officer, we want to say he's in Spain reportedly. We don't know how true is it, because I know he was picked up by state security, but how is it that he's in Spain now? I'm hoping that the Ministry of Justice can clarify this for us. So a couple of things we're going to talk about tonight on the Nighttime Heat, right on Prime FM 105.5. We are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just tap Nighttime Heat, and of course, going to watch the show online and enjoy the show as well. We are also streaming live on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. We're going to talk about. We are also streaming live on that platform. So I'm hoping that you are there, because we are right here. Dave, let me welcome you to the program quickly. How you doing? Thank you. And let me open your mind, Dave.
Okay, yeah. So thank you very much. And it's always a good thing to be here. And thank you for, before we came on that, I told you that you're a responsible husband. You're a loving and caring person. The fact that you can stay 2 weeks with your wife, making sure that she's recuperated before you return to the show. That's good. I hope that many men follow your example.
Yeah, I'm hoping that you too can follow my example.
No, I'm already following.
Yeah, no, surely.
And so I felt the love you've shown for your wife. Most of the time, when I see people in photographs at service or coming from service, that's a good thing. And I hope that all men do that. So Saba, thank God that you're here. What's on my mind?
Yes, let's hear about what.
So what's on my mind? What's on my mind is that to be fair, the Monrovia City Corporation is doing extremely well in ensuring that the capital cities kept clean. That has been the problem over the long period of time. And this is not unique to this particular administration of the Monrovia City Corporation.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that during the regime, during past regimes. But to some extent, the city corporation is doing well in ensuring that the city is kept clean. But the challenges still remain, most especially garbage collection and disposal. And residents too, as residents of Monrovia, we have a role to play in augmenting the efforts of the Monrovia City Corporation to keep the city clean. We can't be throwing dirt all around the place. The other thing that the Monrovia City Corporation, finally on this one, the Monrovia City Corporation has to reintroduce the garbage bin thing in strategic corners of all our major streets, where when someone eats a banana and throw the peelings in the garbage bin at the street corner somewhere. We haven't been seeing that for quite a long time. I hope that the city corporation reintroduces that.
Okay, Dave, thank you. We're still waiting some of the other panelists. But in the meantime, we have our guests here. Let's try to welcome Representative Smo Molba, one of the tough talking lawmaker in the House of Representatives. So understand he's on record for introducing the communication that saw Yeke Kolba out of that building today. You always be on record for that. Welcome to the program.
Well, thank you, Silver. I would like to say good evening to our listening audience, especially the peace-loving people of District Number 3. I'm glad to be here. I listened to you, Silbert, when you mentioned, it touched my heart when you mentioned your wife.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a strong man to stand along with the wife, someone who is loving. So I must commend you for that. I think I see you as a role model now. I will cope with your activity to do similar thing, at least to better my home.
Yeah.
When it comes to our relationship. But I'm glad to be here. Thanks for the invite. Yeah.
Okay. First, I'm sure you are here for, I don't close an hour, 45 minutes. So we just have to talk with you, to get all of what we can, so as to allow you to go. First, let's hear from you about your district. How is everything now?
There were nothing before, and up to today, there is still nothing. We're doing well in the district. Sometimes, remember now, we ran against other people, other competitors in the race. And when you hear the little noise from the district, it's just from those guys who took the race before and did not win. So they thought it wise to put lay young people together to just create noise, especially what they were doing to zing out the police station in Poplan. That is not a project because the police station is already there. That's renovation. And you cannot compare that with a TV College 3-story building. You can just not compare that. Just a single apartment to a 3-story building. So I'm not moved by that. What I'm moved by, I think you saw those that were crossing us yesterday. I was in their backyard. You saw the number of people that turned out. So my people believe in me, they trust me, and I'm there to deliver what they want. Yeah.
Okay. Now, do we have that video there? Because he said just a sprinkling number of people. We don't have any major qualm with him. Let's try to hear them so that
I'm Daniel Gisler, a member and spokesperson of the Conscious Youth of Nizo community. And this morning I'm here with Chairman Jack Morba. I'm here with Thomas Ule, who led the Conscious Youth of Nizo community. And basically this morning we are here to speak to the issues concerning our community district at large, and especially to our community's leadership, and also to the letter being written by our Honorable Smoke Morba with regards to the termination and dismissal of our community leadership. And so I have my guys that will better introduce themselves as we go forward.
Again, my name is Chairman Hina Moiba. I do well with this community needs to say this to us.
Yeah, I'm Thomas Ray, and I'm the chairman for the contract.
Okay. Okay, so we want to say thanks once again for coming. And so even though we are not well, but we have to do this for our community and our district at large. And so this morning, as stated, we are here to discuss issues relevant to our community leadership and the fraud issue and the disasters surrounding our community, which of course our lawmaker is doing nothing about. So diving into the situation, firstly, we received a letter from the Honorable Lawmaker on July 13, 2026. Directed to Matthew Moore, the chairman of the district board, district number 3, Morocco County, and dismissing the entire leadership of Nizo community, which were elected by the people of Nizo community. But before that, we've had series of issues as it relates to the community leadership, which of course the Conscious Youth of Nizo has flagged out, but all to no avail, which were being undermined by the lawmaker in Sumoke Morba. And so now, prior to this, we have had so many irregularities with the electoral process of Nizo community. And so with these irregularities that we've outlined, we met the previous city court for operation and also the city mayor of Pineville, and we also met with the district council, the very Matthew Moore. We also met with the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the assistant minister, and as well Maj Abate, and as well communication to the.
I hear well that Maj Abate is no longer an assistant minister.
Most definitely we are aware, but by the time.
Oh, by the time.
Yeah, by the time he was there, and so we discussed the issue. There's so many irregularities, like the community election was without voter registration card. The community election during we suspended our community constitution using the district's constitution. There were no publicity, and so many counts that we submitted to the lawmaker, which ignored our letter by the time. And then he undermined all our efforts to make sure that the particular leadership stands. And a few weeks back, when we have the disaster management intervening within the fraud issue of our community, and we have the women voices coming out, the other media entity coming out to ask us questions as it relates to the fraud issue and the disaster in our community, having explained themselves or some residents of our community out of context, out of political issues, out of self-aggrandizement, our lawmaker wrote this letter stating that he doesn't want the community leadership again because he feels that they are not in his interest. And so we are back here today to tell the lawmaker that he has no right. He has no right over our community activities because this is an.
Okay, so you were trying to trivialize, in another word, the concerns that the young people do have, but you heard them.
So
The race issue about election, you try to manipulate the process. The race issue about frauding, you pay no attention. You try to dismantle or dissolve the community leadership. How factual are all of those allegations?
Thank you, Sobert. I think let me try to dismiss some of those allegations. I think Sobert, I'm one person I believe in evidence. When you see here, you can see roughly about 100 and some wee bar, right? When it comes to Nizo, the community we are discussing is Nizo community. Let me make it clear. First of all, I have 3 cardinal responsibilities lawmaking, oversight, and representation. To get in the water is not my job, but I'm there because I believe where I came from, I should give back to the people.
Sure.
So usually we give for my company. I have a company there in Izo where I came from. That's my own area, and nobody got the voice there than me. That's where I got a huge number of votes. So in Izo, we usually give 100,000, 100K every year to clean the Vera drainages. Right? We give food, we buy materials, and give it to them. On one location, we give material. It will be used just by the leader. They took it and did their own thing. But I'm one person I believe in getting down in the water to join them to work. Because from the Cuban, then he had his own project. But based on his project, he usually give money to community leaders. Mm-hmm. So when you give money to community leaders, they use the money for their own intent, personal gain, right? And it was because of that today the Cuban is not there. So my approach in leadership is quite different from how people see it. My thing is to deal with the people, not with the leaders. Because if I cannot reach the people, then definitely I will not come by. So in Izo, despite what we give them, even the young man speaking, the young man is in my camp now. He just joined, right? Because few people just left from District 3 to go Kigali. We have people in China going to school. We're sending people. That's the first time. You won't see lawmaker doing that. That's the very first time. Even just quite recently, the issue of Justina, you won't see lawmaker doing that. I'm the only lawmaker who stood there. The issue of blessing pay, DRSP, the one that was murdered, I'm the one who left from here to go to Freetown, right? Just because of my own people. So you will always have few people who try to play a political game, try to maneuver their way through so that they can get something. He's one of those. We have negotiated it, and I will always tell young people, it's not about getting on the microphone and creating the fake propaganda. Because if possible, I may say, no, let me leave him and take care of other people. But they did this game to get my attention. And I will tell you, when it comes to the issue of local government, a lot of people don't understand it. When you are not in the seat or you are a young man, you cannot read, you won't get the story of the local government act. In the act, as a lawmaker, I'm not responsible, the 2018 act, I'm not responsible to relate when it comes to community elections. That's not my job. And when you notice me, I believe in the law. I have stood with the law. So when it comes to election in Izo, I always tell them, you have to go and link with the superintendent of Montserrat County. He has the authority along with the Naaman Council. If no way, then you get to internal affairs. I got nothing to do with that. And even when it comes to development form, that's not my issue. I got my own money. I don't need the House of Legislature money. That's the way you see that. I'm a different guy when it comes to the House of Legislature. I'm the aggressive one who talk it out, give my voice out to the people. So the issue of the district, when it comes to delivering, when it comes to policy issue, we stand strong. But when it comes to a community-based level, where you talk about community leaders, that's not my work. You have the district council. They are responsible for that. You have the district elder. And remember, not like other district, but District 3 have a constitution. Amen. And I respect the constitution because it was signed by leaders of the various communities. So in the constitution, I have no right as a lawmaker. When you come to me, I send you down to the elder council. And you see the leadership in Izo. How can you have an election and you have close to 15,000 inhabitants and only 1,000 people voted? So it means there was a foul play. So when it came to me, I sent it to Internal Affairs. But then Jabate took the initiative to handle the issue. I don't know what happened there. I was not part of it. When it came, Jabate said, okay, the people that won the election should remain. We supported that. We accepted that. But then there was a tension from the community. Most of the people, they were saying we will not work with him and will not allow this leader into our community. So because of that, I said, no, we got to put a halt to it because you guys follow the wrong procedure. According to the act, the first procedure for dialogue should be through the superintendent. Get to the superintendent, whatsoever the superintendent say. Then we, the people in the district, abide by it because that's what the law says. But, young people now, everybody want to show up. And remember now, I'll tell you something, I'm a young man. See me, I'm a young man. So because of that, every other young people feel that they have the capability of being a lawmaker, not knowing what we pass through. Because to get there, first what I did was to empower myself. And not just myself, I empower myself, I took care of my family, then I related to the district, took care of people, get people job, right? That's what I did. So if any other young people feel that they are strong enough to come on board, create job for our people.
Now, let me ask you. You explained a lot, but the issues raised by the young people, we just played a video.
Yeah,
we'll be going to the national discussion very shortly, but you haven't yet actually responded.
So what was the issue? So what was the
number
issue?
one?
It's a drainage.
Drainage.
I did that.
Number two, the issue of their local election.
So we did that now. So, but I don't know how you understand that. One, we talk about drainage. I show you pictorial evidence that we gave equipment.
They did in any way try to interfere in the election of the local leaders.
So let me tell you this. For one reason, Sober, even if I interfere, it will not take me to the ballot box. It will not make me win. Sober, election in this country is quite different. The people elect who they want. It's not based upon you making your way through. No, that's not it. Even if I make my way through, I will not be with the people at the ballot box.
Let's talk about the issue of the police station there.
Yeah.
What's the involvement also?
So the issue of the police stations is this, right? District 3 is about two political parties, Unity Party and CDC. There's a rivalry between them. So either for Unity Party or you for the CDC. But District 3 is green. District have a green color. You have majority Unity Party. So they sent a police officer who came from the CDCN.
How do you know that?
Oh, he worked along with Bill Twawe before. We know him very well. So he came from the CDCN. And when he came, as a commander, he asked me, he wrote my office to do a piece of job to Zing, and I renovate the entire police station. So what I did, I approved, signed on the paper, sent it because we have processes for getting money now. And definitely it's not the district money. I'll take it from my own account. So I have to write the school, let them know I'm doing this project. I need this amount of money. That's my school. So they granted it. We sent to City Bureau. We already put in for the material. The day we're taking the material there is an NGO, a clean NGO that is not even registered with the government of the Republic of Liberia because of politics. He's using that NGO technique, right? Tactic to do what he can for the election. So they went in and said they were roofing the building. So I asked the police commander, I said, look, you told us to come here. And by law, as the people, the citizen, we are not. It's in your law. We are not to even engage with you because that's conflict of interest. Tomorrow, if I do a work and I have an issue with another person at the police station, you will take side. You will take side. It could be anyone. So I said it was even wrong to even ask her. But because you asked me as a lawmaker and I'm in that position, and we also have little money that we could use in the district, we thought it wise as the leader to use that, but not for you to ask other people in the district. So we did a letter to the IG. We also did a letter to other officials informing them of what happened, right? Because for me, I believe in the law. It was totally wrong for a police officer, not even the head, to go a police commander to ask in the community for help. And the help was not just one, it was not based just upon the leadership of the district. The letter was sent to more than 10 persons. So it was wrong. So I told him, I said, what if you have issue with any of these people with another person and they get at the police station? The next thing that comes to your mind is that this man helped us to zing our police station. So I will take this side. That's conflict of interest. We have to stop. So we are on that case. And just few people, not many, are sober. I think you saw in red light when I appear in red light. You don't hear the noise. That's politics. You have few people have to cause noise around.
Okay, because I want to.
The question I'd like to ask Honorable is that did you really dissolve the community leadership?
Which community leadership?
You heard the guy say you dissolve their community.
No, I'm not going to do that. I have no right to do that. They are still in power. I respect them as the community leader, and I'm not going to do so. If there is any issue with the community, if other people have issue with this leadership, they have to get down to the superintendent. He's responsible according to the Local Government Act. I'm not responsible, and I'm not going to go in there. No, that's not what the law says. I believe in the law.
Okay, you believe in the law. Now,
I hope you also believe in the law.
Because, we do.
That's why the guy does.
We do. Now, before we can transition, are your response to those concerns by some of the young people?
Yeah,
appears that you believe that they are being influenced, teleguided by maybe detractors of yours or your opponents. Is that why you read it?
So in politics, I will say this. In the district number 3, we have people who are neutral. They are with us. They believe in us. We have people who came from our own late campaign end. They also believe in us. And we also have people who came from the opposition side, right? So the noise you're hearing, my majority of it is from the CDC end, because before I was in the middle. I was not with CDC, I was not with Unity Party, but now I'm with Unity Party. So I have identified myself. So what they are doing now, they are forming a clique, right? To make sure that we can go against this man come 2029.
So why you chose to be at the middle initially?
Oh, I remember now.
To get the votes from the people?
When I was in the middle.
Was it a strategy to get the votes from all sides? Or what?
I came from a neutral party, the All Liberal Party. They were not part of any North, campaigning. So being with a neutral party, I thought it wise to be in the middle, not with CDC, not with Unity Party, and we won. But this time around, I am with Unity Party. It's very clear. I'm with Unity Party because of the level of work, the level of progress.
That's a scare.
I believe in the number. I don't believe in rhetoric. I believe in the number. And the number is not saying, I'm not looking at the propaganda. I'm looking at the number that we can look at the IMF report. We can also analyze from Transparency International, right? There are numbers that I look at. I'm a layman. I will not just go with people because I want to go with them. I go with them based on achievement. And the achievement rating of Unity Party is very glaring. Yeah, this is the reason I'm with them. Yeah,
you will talk about that because someone listening to you from the other side, may think that you are just trying to make up.
Make up what?
What is the achievement that you see?
The number is glaring.
What is the number that is glaring?
The number is not just something that anyone can play with. I think it came from the international community. So if you see the inflation rate, right, the general inflation rate, when you see the rating is quite different from what we had before from the initial time, right? For 2023, there is a growing rate, a reduction rate, right? Even if you see the issue of inflation as it relates to food, right, there is a reduction rate. Then we look at general employment. The rating is better than before. Even the issue of corruption is better than before. The issue of the fight against drugs is better than before. Even if we just look at it as 1 point or even 0.1, right, it's still better than before.
What is the issue of employment that is better than before?
Sober. I don't know.
A question.
Sober. Even you just want me to break it down for you.
Yeah, what want you to do?
I think it's better than before, and I will tell you why it is.
How many persons are not employed?
Sober today.
As compared to before?
Sober today. Mm-hmm. If the labor minister, then for a labor minister to stand in between for the people of this country. Remember then, 2024, I was against this identical labor minister on the radio. I was, one person who was aggressive.
Yes, you're
critical
critical
labor issue,
yeah.
very critical. Then 2025, I was also critical. But then for this labor minister to take a stand today to say that we will not allow the issue of the labor permit for aliens, right? I think it's a green light for all of us, because if we create a deterrent and stop these guys and go along with the law for the 5.1 that says Liberians should have their job when there is no qualified Liberian, there was a word on the line called unqualified Liberian, right? Then you can give them that job. So if you have the labor minister can stand there and say, no, this time we will not do this, we will not give people permit, I think it's a green light.
So how has that reflected in
when there is a deterrent,
people?
When there is a deterrent to stop people from getting job, there is a vacancy, and you have people to be employed. Who will be employed? Liberians.
Mr. Representative.
So let's get.
Do you have a statistics of people employed now and number of people employed? Unlike in the past, do you have that statistics?
Look, let me tell you something.
I just want you to say everything is rosy. It's okay, but
you invited me to this course based upon certain topics.
No, you're
before coming. No, I'm not supposed to do my research.
Okay,
before coming.
All right, I know you want to do your research.
Another show.
So you don't have a statistics of
do you not research and give you? I give you the facts.
I will not lie. I'll leave you on that. Yeah, zeros. You're listening to the Nighttime Heat right on Prom FM 105.5. Kindly share the show, share the live video, share the show. We are streaming live on Prom FM Monrovia 105.5. We are also streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. That's the Nighttime Heat Facebook and YouTube channel. Kindly share the show. Now, let us take you up to the national level quickly, because I know I showed you some of the issues of what to talk about. You are an insider, and the information has been trending for the past, I think, 24 to 48 hours. That the president, His Excellency, Joseph Imam Boyaka, was was expected to have held, maybe he held it or not, but you're an insider. Let's ask you, do you know of any security meeting that was held today, or no, emergency security meeting?
I'm not too sure of that. I don't know the reason for the security emergency meeting, but what I do know,
but you don't have an idea.
There was some highlight concerning the border issue, the Guinea border, and I think it should be some of those things that the president would like to discuss. But until then, when I have insight, then I will be able to discuss that. Before then, no.
So, being an insider, you are not quite aware as to what
I'm not aware of any security meeting today.
Okay. Now, as a lawmaker and a major, figure in the ruling establishment, let's get your honest opinion on what is obtaining today relative to the drug situation. Earlier, we heard about some 90 million. And then after, we're still trying to investigate the 90 million. Over 300,000 again worth of drugs emerged. What's your reading? And what do you what do you think about the ongoing investigation?
All right, Sober. First of all, I'm sitting in your studio not because I'm from
One minute before you can you respond to that. I know you know the question already. Let's try to welcome Mr. Moses Sandy, our diaspora panelist. Moses, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Honorable. It's a pleasure. Look, I'm really engaged, but I thought to come in briefly to push back on some of the things that Honorable, the representative of MOBA is saying in studio. They asked the Honorable salient questions, and all the questions he asked the man is deviating. It's off topic. Take for example, You said, well, job creation is better than what it was before. And you're asking for a number. He was unable to give us that number. But instead, he's telling you that he stands with the Minister of Labor. That's not a question that you're asking. Give us the number. Do the comparison. You said it was bad before, and today it is better. Compare we administration and this administration. What's that number, Honorable? Rule of law. What is that number? Corruption. What is that number? The fight against drugs. What is that number, Honorable? Answer these questions that are called for. Speak to that.
All right. Thank you, Moses.
So I just hope Moses remain online. Moses, I'm a policy man. So when you have the implementation of certain policy that will produce the number, then there is a green light. This is the reason I say that I may not have the number here because I don't want to give number tomorrow when we do our research. It's quite different. So I believe in research. I was called to discuss certain topic. The next time you call me, we come with that number. But based on policy, the implementation of policy 45.1, that's the law of the labor, right? And if you can implement the law, I'm saying that I think it's in the interest of all of us, Liberian. Yeah, the Decent Work Act 45.1, where Liberians should have their job. So if you're taking alien from the job, then there is a vacancy, and the vacancy is for Liberian. This is the reason I said there will be an increment as it relates to the number. So I'm a policy man. When I speak, I know what I'm talking from a specific angle. Yeah.
Okay. So, Moses, I think he's
quickly.
You can come on your show. We can discuss the number. I'm not afraid to discuss the number, but I was called for a specific topic. I think we should stick to that, Moses.
Look, so this is what I think most honorable people will do. You know, when you speak,
so you say most honorable, then I would take it to be an insult. Yeah, not honorable.
Okay.
I think you call me. You should protect me.
Okay,
yeah, so you can't be honorable until I leave from here, Moses. I deserve it. I was elected.
Yeah, okay, honorable. I take it back. If you felt offended, I take it back. But let me say this: the most advisable thing a leader will do when a question is posed, you do not have the answer. You say, "For now, I cannot speak on this." But when you make what you said, as compared to yesterday, that makes it imperative for you to do this by giving us the data. You don't have it. So since you don't have it,
empirically, I will agree with you. But policy-wise, I have the right to speak.
Look, horrible.
I spoke as a policy person.
You ask, I'm a policy analyst. I said it on graduate school. So when we're talking
I'm not a data analyst. I'm a policy person. Understand the difference? No, you speak data.
Honorable, what you talking about? You trying to say why?
Trust me, just mean I want to. Moses, I will not allow you.
Honorable, what you talking about? You are singing to the
choir. You are discussing empirical data, international IMF, right? I'm not discussing empirical data. I'm discussing policy issue. I'm giving you law, execution of the law, implementation of the law. This is what I'm discussing. If you can implement the law, you get more results.
Honorable, when you discuss policy, you must
Honorable, let him land, then after.
Okay, guys. Let me let you do the show. Yeah, I just wanted the honorable to understand that he was speaking to educated people.
No, I already know, Moses. I'm an educated person
now,
too.
You are trying to give us your analysis and opinion as to what you think about the ongoing drugs crisis.
Yeah, Moses just disturbed us. I don't know. I don't even think Moses have the data from the empirical data from the
United States. Now. He's gone.
No. I gotta extend the discussion.
No, he's gone. So just because Moses is listening, I don't want him to come back.
Okay, I would like to discuss the issue. So the issue of the drugs scenario, I would say this. First of all, I must commend the government for the level of work. So I would like to look at the drugs issue from two dynamics. One, we have to look at the enforcement arm, right? Then we also have to look at the prosecution arm. So we have two different forces that we need to look at. Sometimes from every, people way of understanding thing, they always say, look, the government is not doing anything. No, the government is something. The first is sober. If you just follow the story of Gavi in Colombia, you will find out that the issue of drugs in Colombia is not something to play with. It goes along with money, good money. So in Liberia, for this government to arrest the first 19 million plus drugs, I think I would like to say bravo to the law enforcement of this country, the security apparatus, for putting it under hostage. Two, we have additional 300 million. 50 million could do a roll from Castle Boulevard to Singer. 50 million. But the government did not negotiate in the process. They arrested that amount of drugs. And what surprised me most, and I'm so happy for that, the government banned those drugs. I would like to say bravo. But the thing here is this. People need to be faithful. People need to be honest in the further drugs. We discussing drugs and money. Most Liberians, we too open to money, right? And the issue of security, individual accepting gift, I think that process was wrong. Then the prosecution, I would say, the government need to be reboxed, right? They are not proactive, because you cannot have this person for drugs. You jail them, like you said. The guy from the bar, you heard that he's in
Leroy.
Yeah, Leroy is in Spain.
Paris.
Yeah, he's in Spain. So it creates that fear. People will not trust our court. People will not trust the very jail or whatsoever we have. So we need people who will understand that the law is the law. When you prosecute people, they should be held reliable. If they are there for 25 years, they should be there for 25 years. But if you prosecute a man for 12 years and you release that man, tomorrow he's out. So you like growing drugs, because people will say, look, when I get in there, I will come out. That's the notion. So we need to work hard to erase that notion. But as far, I would like to say bravo to the government for arresting a huge amount of drugs. Remember now, government could negotiate and say, look, we need money. Like dialogue. Take your drugs and give us 100 million. The drugs cartel, we agree, right? But the government stood there and said no to it. I think it's a lot for Liberia. We should appreciate the government for that. And again, I say bravo to the government.
But you are also following the investigation. Are you quite pleased with the manner in which it's proceeding?
Let me say this, sober. Many of our people may not be, most of our people, they are here. They are local people.
Because arresting a drug is one thing.
Some of us went
that you are arresting a drug is one thing that you are commending.
Yeah.
And another thing is the investigation.
So
as to know as to where did the drugs come from,
you're right.
Who brought the drugs,
you're right,
and the punitive measures that will be meted against those people. Up to now, it's so a mystery. So are you quite pleased with the level, with the way the investigation is proceeding?
Look, a drug case is not like a rape case. Somebody will tell you. All around the world, you are an international man. You're not a local man. When I say local man, I mean you've been here throughout.
What do you
Liberia.
mean? No, what do you mean?
When you are an international person, I mean you have traveled.
No, what do you mean that it is not a rape case?
No, for a rape case,
differentiate.
For a rape case, you get the individual, you get to court, you have witnesses, and you get. That's the individual. But for a drug case, it go along with cartels, a huge number of people. So in order to get them, it takes time. It's not something that you hastily go about doing, right? Even in Colombia, it took 2 years to just get Gavi from Colombia. It took a long time. So when you pronounce, you got people who are listening, people who are part of the drugs case. Some of them will escape. So most of them, I saw a lot of people turn this thing to social media thing. They're on the social media writing, doing it. No. When you do that, you're giving people the signal that this is going to happen, and they will leave. So what they need to do, we need to keep it a secret and allow the security apparatus to do their work. And I will say to the government, this thing about drugs, when anyone is guilty, they should be held accountable for it.
Okay, so let me take it to, okay, yes.
Yeah, so honorable.
Come on. So we can take it to
you just commended the government
Right, yeah.
for the
level of work.
The level of work it has done in terms of pursuing drug pushers.
As it relates to enforcement.
As, you know, enforcement. Yeah, that sounds good. But the irony of it, honorable, is that national security personnel who the state depends on in protecting lives and properties and making sure that these kind of narcotic substances do not enter our country. They are the ones, many of them have been involved. Currently, we speak about Biago still remains in the news. It's one of the topical issues now. You stay in the news. The other security personnel officials who were also under the spotlight as far as the investigations are concerned. That is eroding public confidence in our security system. I didn't hear you mentioning that, the fact that even as you speak, the name of the police director continues to be dragged, though those making the allegations, those allegations are not accompanied by facts. But when they commend the government, what's about the loopholes? What's about the weaknesses we are seeing in the security system? What's about the weaknesses that other people, even outside the country, that are seeing in our security system? In fact, people suggesting that the suspect should be tried abroad and not in Liberia. That's because public confidence is eroding in our security system. Don't you think so?
Again, what's the name?
David.
David, I would like to melt politics and propaganda with the actual incident. Let me say this sober.
No,
I would like to be clear. I would like to be
clear.
David.
I think you're deviating.
David, I come in. I get to your point. I come to your point, right, David? Let me say this, right? I think I mentioned the enforcement arm, and I gave them compliment for what the job they did. But per the individual, I think I said this here, people that are within the frame of the drug cartel or those that receive gift, they should be penalized by the law because it is against the law. Let me give you one thing. When I saw those evidence from our Mountain College to that of our Spoon as it relates to Biago, I was on the radio, ELBC, I said that. I told people that when cartel give, it's not just a single gift.
Excuse me, I'm not quite. Did you say you've seen the evidence provided by Mountain College? Did you say that?
I saw those evidence as it relates to the pickup. The pickup, Biago sit in front of the pickup. I saw Biago in the video getting out of the pickup, right? And I think no one need more evidence than that. This is the reason he decided to just get aside of the case and make sure that investigation go on.
Is that enough, Honorable, to determine that he actually received it because he going in and out of the pickup? So that suggests that he got it from.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you
to make that determination.
The records are there. The videos there, right? The plate of the pickup, the assigning of the individual that is the owner to the bar, right? One Larry, and I saw the police call him for cautioning, and he formed part of the drugs cartel, as they said. So if this speaker is for Leroy and it's a gift, it was given to the quote-unquote Biago, he should be out of the process of investigation.
And that's why he did.
Yeah. And trust me, this thing is not Biago one. It will be more Biago that will come out because a cartel will not just work with one person by giving gift. So you have so many gifts that was given out. And I think the government need to be strong on that, do a proper investigation, and penalize people for what they are doing. If we cannot do that, we don't have a free society from drugs. So I also urge the government, despite the level of what they are doing fine, but then they have to speed it up because the Liberian people want results, and it should be transparent. Remember the issue of drugs now. If you call somebody name, it happened in some part of Colombia. When you call somebody name, go through investigation, the person is not part of the process. What happens next is that the person have the right to sue you because you damage their character. So we have to take time how we go about it. People will say things from outside. People will show other things. People will duck videos. We have to be very careful how we go about it.
Okay. Moses will come out to you. Moses just returned on the line. We'll come out to you, Moses. But you listen to you know, read the press statement by the officer in charge, Biago. Before he could even recuse himself.
He lied.
Biago
the narrative.
lied.
He lied.
Right?
And I'm against
now,
that.
Do you think the instruction by the president that Biago be investigated by the Ministry of Justice and the ministry reports in 48 hours, especially when Biago had lied publicly that he didn't know about the vehicle until the evidence, the videos started trending online? You think that was appropriate? Don't you think it would have been quite better or the appropriate by the or the part of the executive to have just either dismissed and turned over Biago to turn him over to the investigation, then to say, well, Justice Ministry investigate him until after 48 hours?
Let me say this also, Bert. Remember now, those evidence from social media still remain in the loophole through investigation. They have to verify to make sure it's true. Then Biago came out to say he's not part of it. And the president called for an investigation because you need those prima facie through investigation. You cannot just go and say, look, I fire you, this and that. No, based on social media evidence.
But there were individuals. So, I'm coming.
Yeah.
There were individuals who were named, who were in government. And immediately they were named, they were dismissed out by the president or suspended and turned over to turn over for investigation. Why in the case of Biago?
So remember now, you have different institutions, right? You have institution is something that have to do with security. So you have investigation already going on. So remember now, the president will not go because people say this and the president go and just take it and say, look, let's try to execute it, implement it. I think what the president is doing is to wait for the investigation. And he gave 48 hours for the investigation. So within after the 48 hours.
Well, you have just said,
there will be a result.
Listen to you. You just said that Biago lied. And you know that he lied.
Yeah. So
you see there are people around the president. You see there are people around the president that are trying to protect Biago.
Yeah.
Because Biago said he didn't know about the vehicle.
So
until the video evidence started coming up.
But excuse me, gentlemen, let me come in before you answer.
1 minute, let me just relate to him. The statement that came out, it was in a narration form. A statement. It was not from the mouth of Biago. I didn't listen to anything coming from Biago mouth.
But that was a press release by the agency.
It came from Biago.
By the agency.
What agency?
Let's read Biago's statement so you can know exactly. But you can.
Biago said one thing I picked up in Biago's statement is that if there's a great pickup in his convoy,
all right,
or if it is a great pickup in his convoy, he doesn't know about it, and if anybody did receive that pickup from the quote-unquote drug cartel associate, drug cartel associate, then that means that it's Biago. You understand what I'm saying?
So I'm getting you, but let me just say this. We are talking about a social media statement. On the social media platform, like for me, I'm Honorable Mobile.
Biago said,
but you have more than 10 Honorable Mobile on the platform, the social media platform. Anyone can speak. So to give the investigation a chance, where Biago will sit through the investigation and pronounce this from his mouth. This is what I'm talking about.
So Biago said one thing. What I wanted to say, Biago said, whatever great pickup in this convoy, if anybody in the DA that received
was it a written? Was it a written or it came from Biago mouth?
It's a statement. Quoting Biago.
Come on.
Quoting Biago.
Social media
and
statement.
the LDA.
So the president is doing the right thing to investigate.
Somebody didn't you see that statement?
But Biago wrote
a statement. Saying that if anyone in the DA.
Sober, let me say this thing. Right? You cannot hold the president. Let me make it clear. Sober, right? Like for me, I'm on the social media. I have a page there, only one page. But when you get on the social media, you see 10 pages from different people. People just write about. So what I'm saying, Biago have come up to say this. I saw the statement. I'm against the statement. He's wrong. He should be penalized for that. No if and then, right? But what I'm saying, it's better to let the investigation go on, to hear from the house's mouth, to do the investigation and know it. There may be a lot of things, not just the gift. So allow the investigation to go on, not just one of the gift.
Okay, and let's go to Moses quickly. Yeah, Moses, let's hear you.
You know, this is a very interesting discussion. And Honorable Mova, I listened to you. My brother David Tawe asked you, he said, do you have the evidence? Because you said that Mountain College publication shows that Biago is guilty. So Mr. Tagwe asked you, do you have the evidence? And you say yes. And you turn around in less than 30 seconds. You're telling us that the action by the president to ask for a probe is the way forward. So, but Honorable, you are now contradicting. You said you already convicted this guy. You said there's evidence. So if you have the evidence, why waste the time of the Liberian people? What is happening with this whole investigation here? We have a convoluted investigation that is going on. We have a lot of people who are confused, not even know what they're doing. And let me give you some example. Biago came publicly and declared that, hey, the allegation that made against him by Mountain is incorrect. In less than 24 hours, he recused himself after the guy came up with additional information on him. That's a serious red flag right there. You have the director of police who is making pronouncements that have serious legal implications, but there have been no arrest. So, for example, the director of police said the media is complicit, meaning that the media is aiding and abetting cartels. No journalist in Liberia. You live there, I don't live there. No journalist in Liberia has been arrested since Konakoma spoke. The man said the police has credible evidence that journalists were bribed to change the narrative of the investigation. That's complicity.
Moses?
Yeah, Moses there?
Okay. Yes.
So let me just come up to just,
let me finish, Honorable.
Drift between those claims from Moses. First of all, you have.
I'm sorry, guys. Are you hearing me?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. It was an error here from my end. But what I was saying, Honorable, is that you have a director of police that is making allegations against people, and the people that he is accusing have not been arrested, charged, and forwarded to court. He said the media is complicit, meaning that the media is aiding, abetting drug cartels to change the narrative. He said the police has credible evidence. Have you seen any journalists arrested in the country? Have you seen the Ministry of Justice citing any a media entity for a probe? If the police director said the evidence is there, that's the man who administered the affairs, the most senior person at the police, seeing that we have the evidence, why is it that these people are not being arrested and prosecuted? The Sindara police says that there are senior people in the Liberian government that are linked, that are supporting the cartels, yet no arrest has been made. And you said this, don't you have a problem with this, Honorable? Let me ask you this question. With all these pronouncements, all these things happening, Honorable, you guys run the country. Don't you see a problem?
There is a problem. Let me answer you, right? In investigation, you have circumstantial evidence and you have direct evidence. So, like social media, what you see on the social media, those videos and other things, you have to go through investigation. So they are not direct evidence. Direct evidence have to be with the actual, from the result of the investigation, the actual video, security video. You also have to do with eyewitnesses. So that's direct evidence. But what we saw on the social media is not direct. So you have to go through investigation. So please give the security the chance to do their work.
Moses, are you still there?
Yes, I am. But the Honorable just contradicted he said. He said Mountain was right. And he's coming back telling us that the information that the video that Mountain posted, you said it is accurate.
They are all evidence.
But now,
they are all evidence. We have circumstantial evidence. What Martin posted is circumstantial evidence. They are all evidence. So I said, based on the social media, what I saw is right. Then you have direct evidence. So I may be right, Martin may be right, but the evidence that you have to go through investigation.
But you have already verified. You have already verified what Mountain reported as the
I'm
evidence.
not a security man. I'm not an investigator. So I have seen it.
But you were
a lawmaker.
You were very definitive. You said Mountain is right. You said it.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Mountain is right.
Martin is right because the video I saw the pickup, and I saw the security pickup.
So is that sufficient, Honorable? That's a question I'm asking. Because
they are all evidence.
Because I saw the man in a photograph.
Yet and still, they have to go through investigation. Agree to that. They have to go through investigation. So let's take for example, I see this young man stealing from your studio. I'm a witness. So should we just say that this guy is a role? We have to go to court. We have to go through investigation, and there should be a verdict. Then this guy will be guilty of stealing. This is what I'm saying. You have an evidence, but you have to go through investigation to make it direct. This is what I'm saying. And I think that Moses should have more control of this, because I'm not a security man, but I think I'm managing because through my research. This is what I'm going through.
No, but you are walking by your statement. You made a statement that said Mountain is right. Biago is.
And I was saying here today, based on the video I saw, when it is being legitimate, when it is a legitimate video through the investigation, because you have adopted video. So the security apparatus have to investigate to make sure this video is genuine. When it is genuine, this man have to be penalized. I stand by the law. He have to be penalized.
Moses, are you through?
Look, I'm true. I'm listening. Yeah, I'm listening.
Moses want to do small research on me. Moses, don't do that.
No, Honorable, no research. But everyone knows that you are contradicting yourself.
Moses started the two
studio know that.
So, gentlemen, let's take a call from one of our listeners from overseas. You always contributing to this program. Let's take a call from him quickly. Welcome to the program. Your name once again?
Good evening, Sober and the rest of the party. My name is Alfred and I call from Australia. How are you guys doing this evening?
Well, we are okay, Alfred. Let's hear from you.
That's going very well. So yes, I listened to Honorable Small Morba. Just before I put my point through, I just want to ask Honorable Morba. Honorable Morba, do you have a lawyer in your office as a lawmaker?
Pardon?
Do you have a lawyer in your office as a lawmaker?
Do you have have a legal staff in your office, for example, a lawyer who advises you on legal matters?
So the issue is about policy. It's policy driven. It got nothing to do with.
No.
I'm not a lawyer.
No, we just want to know whether you have a legal person in your office as a lawmaker.
I even have a junior brother who is a lawyer, a very good lawyer.
Is he in your office guiding you in terms of the legal decisions and other things? That's what he asking.
Concerning what? Liberal law? Liberal law?
Yes, so then
I'm a policy maker. I read the law.
Okay, let's listen to him quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I understand the background for which Honorable Morwa is making his comment because his comments are not in line with the law. And when you do that, they have implications of the investigation process. Now, say for example, I think Mr. Tabe asked him as to whether he saw the evidence, and in the first statement he said, "Well, I saw the evidence, and so Honorable Bago should be suspended."
I repeat, I saw the evidence. No. I want no one misquote me. I saw the evidence when it is genuine. This is what I said. When it is genuine, he should be penalized. And I remain on that.
You said, you said you saw the evidence, and then Honorable Bago should be investigated anymore. So that's fine. There's an investigation going on. That's okay. Now, but you raise a very poignant point around the investigation now, and you understand that in public services that you're talking about, the holder of public information is the government. So for example, one of the evidence you talk about is the evidence relating to the vehicle that was owned by that was given to the DEA boss. Now, I do agree there must be an investigation, but who was the information of the vehicle that was owned by the DEA? The registration of that vehicle is owned by the Ministry of Transport. Now, that information that is used during registration is what we call personal information. Now, personal information of an individual who registered a vehicle was not being released to the public. How was that personal information obtained? Through what process? Now, that also has an implication of the very gift that you mentioned. Now, if the DEA boss, as you allege, to have received a gift of the vehicle, that gift is worth more than $200 value. And you agree, as you have stated on the show, it's a breach and a violation of the code of conduct. Meaning, for every value,
don't say 1 minute. No. Let me clear. No, I have to correct
Let
it.
him learn and you correct him.
No, that you shut thing here. I don't want anybody implicating me. It is alleged by Martin Colley, not smooth. Okay. It was alleged by Martin Colley.
For every $200 that you receive value as a public official, that value must be reported as required under section 9.2 of the code of conduct.
You're right.
Now, if we assume the value of that vehicle is more than $3,000, whatever value you want to attach to it. Now, the DEA is under the supervision of the Ministry of Justice. So, assuming that the DEA boss did not report that vehicle to the public, who has the obligation to check and ensure that that vehicle will report is the Minister of Justice. That very vehicle was also seen at the Independence Day celebration. Meaning, it was in the security detail during the Independence celebration. There was also a beneficiary of that use of that vehicle at the national level. So that means the security is also a beneficiary of the entire system. Who is held responsible for that? And that's the reason why I said, if your office, if you do not have a lawyer, and you speak to this issue, you're going to implicate the government far beyond that. And this is why you have to speak to a lawyer to understand criminal issues before you can make a prohibition on that.
So I would like to ask you, you make a lot of different claims concerning the vehicle. So how do you think you go about knowing the legitimate owner of the vehicle? Through investigation or not?
No, so that's what I'm saying. So you said the evidence.
No. When you answer me, not what I'm saying. And when you answer me, how do you go about knowing the claim of who claimed the vehicle? Who is the owner of the vehicle?
Yeah, so the vehicle shows that the vehicle is registered to another individual who is the owner of the private car.
Yeah. So how do
if you assume that vehicle was gifted to the DEA boss, there must be a deed. Now, a deed for that meaning that vehicle should have been transferred to the DEA, and there must be a witness to that. And the witness to that must be a legal document to show that the transfer of that property from the owner of
so you need investigation, right? So you need investigation, right?
You must have a deed. We don't have the deed. We don't have that deed. And there must be a mechanism to prove as to whether the deed exists or not. So if the deed does not exist, you cannot say the vehicle was transferred to the DA boss or the vehicle belongs to the DA boss.
Hello.
Now, if you come and say it is in this public space that the DA boss must be suspended or
how do you know?
social media, then that's an issue.
We are requesting for investigation. I support the investigation. This is what I said. I told you you have two types of evidence. There are about 4, but the two important type of evidence you have is direct and another one that I just messed it up. But you have, first of all, the direct evidence that which you have eyewitnesses. And what you're talking about, it was alleged. What Martin is posting out is alleged until it can be verified by the government through an investigation. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
So you support the investigation, right?
Evidence. It is not the evidence before us. It's not circumstantial evidence. It's a direct evidence because there's a vehicle. The vehicle is physical. We can see it, right? So we need to know. Who's the vehicle. That's the information that will have available to the public. They say that the vehicle was registered under the Ministry of Transport. They provide all of those details.
Circumstantial evidence. Akami, you say it's direct. Are you saying it's direct?
It's direct evidence. There's a vehicle. It's not circumstantial. We're not implying.
So do your research.
See the vehicle.
Security video. They did not say personal video for someone. They said security video. Security video is one that is investigated. Security video is one that is investigated. Make it clear. Security video is one that is investigated. It's legitimate.
The vehicle we have before is a physical video.
Are you a lawyer? Are you a lawyer? Are you a lawyer?
I am a lawyer, and that's the reason why I'm speaking to that. I am a lawyer, that's why I'm speaking to that. So if you say it's circumstantial, I'm saying it's not circumstantial evidence because the vehicle we're talking about is parked before the National Police headquarters. It's a physical evidence, so it cannot be circumstantial.
You said the video came from where? The police headquarters.
We infer. Sorry.
It was posted by Martin Colley, not the police.
No. The vehicle was not posted by Martin Colley. The vehicle was arrested prior to Martin Colley posting that vehicle. On the 19-minute docket, it was shown that.
I'm discussing the video. The video came from Martin Colley.
We are not discussing the video.
Okay, we were discussing the video. Moses and myself were discussing the video. We're discussing video here, my young man. Video. Nothing else but video. So get it clear.
The vehicle was known to the police prior to Martin posting about the vehicle.
I'm discussing Martin Colley video. Martin Colley video is not legitimate. It's not from the security apparatus. It's not legitimate. Until you can go through investigation. Man, you are a lawyer, man. You are a lawyer. One minute, gentlemen. Don't fool the people.
1 minute, Mr. Jackson. 1 minute. Let's try to be clear here. Which of the vehicle are we making reference to?
The pickup.
The pickup that was being used by Biago, or the vehicle that was alleged to be transporting the drugs? Which one?
So there are 2 vehicles here.
Thank you.
One, there's a gray vehicle used by Biago.
Yeah.
And there's another vehicle that is parked before the Liberia National Police.
We are discussing the drugs. You see, you just joining the discussion.
The reason why those both vehicles are mentioned is because there's a link. We try to show the link of who was the owner of that vehicle that had gifted Biago the gray vehicle. Now you can see that the vehicle that was before the Liberia National Police headquarters is linked to somebody who is linked to a private bar. And on the basis of that, we ask it as to whether they give the provided vehicle to have been done in that. And now we're saying that under the code of conduct, as required by the code of conduct, because the private bar individual gifted the vehicle to the LGA, that gift should have been reported because it's over a value of over $200. Now, if it is a gift, it means that that gift should have been needed to show a transfer from the owner to the LDA. If we don't have that gift, investigators need to show whether there was a gift or not. If the gift does not show it was transferred, obviously it means that the vehicle was not transferred to the LDA. It is not a government property and it belongs to the owner of a private bar.
Yeah, okay, but
you still say investigator. You still investigator.
1 minute. Granted, if there's no deed towards that, but the vehicle were, on several occasions was on several occasions rather seen in the convoy of Biago. So then how do you still distance him from this?
Yes. No, and so that brings into question a second layer of this. Meaning, if Biago receives the vehicle, it is the responsibility of the Minister of Justice to have a supervision power over the LDA to inquire why that vehicle was in the
Then you come back to what we're saying.
That is.
You see?
That is not a government.
You won't waste our time to know, brother.
If the Minister of Justice had a dereliction of duty, it means that he must also question why that they didn't check that vehicle was within the asset of the LGA. Further to that, it means that we must also ask question why is it that vehicle was at the Independence Day in Pictona as well? Because it means that at the higher security level, they were also a beneficiary of the proceeds of the gift that should not have been given to the LGA.
Let's extend this. This vehicle was being used by Biago, the officer in charge of the Drugs Enforcement Agency. Can we say that the Inspector General of the Labrador National Police didn't have any knowledge at all as to how this vehicle landed in the care of Biago? Can we say that?
Yes, so generally because there are two different agencies. The police operate in this sphere and the LGA operate in this sphere. Now the individual with supervision power over both the police and the LGA is the Ministry of Justice. Now, every asset that is acquired by the government is acquired to the General Services Agency. Now, if a vehicle or an asset is within out of the agency, and those agencies cannot say who procured the vehicles, it means that the Minister of Justice should answer and provide question as to why those vehicles was found within the LGA. If they can't answer that, it means there is a dereliction of duty of care, and they must be liable for that.
That's the Ministry of Justice.
The Minister of Justice should be liable for that because they have a duty to ensure and check on compliance of all of those assets within both agencies. Because mind you now, the police is under the Ministry of Justice, the LTA is also under the Ministry of Justice.
Wow. And Saba, there's a noise in the background. I want to comment. And
So that is a critical point. That is a critical point we should ask, because even if it relates to the gift that Honorable Moroba is mentioning about, and one the D we're talking about, it means that because the value is over $200, the LGA, assuming what I'm making as a fact is worth a gift, it should have been reported. And it should have been reported to the Minister of Justice. If it was not reported, the Minister of Justice should have inquired, look, this fleet of vehicle that you have was not the vehicle that was purchased for the LGA. How come they acquired it? If that didn't happen, it means the Minister of Justice breached the duty of care, and they must answer why that happened.
So that's the interpretation of the law. So that's what I was saying. You still have to be.
Okay. So there's a question for you. Yeah.
I said, what I've noticed over the, as far as the argument is concerned, is that a lot of people are already sounding judgmental, as if Biago actually received that vehicle from a Qatar-related person or group. The first thing one of the things that hasn't been established is that whether it is Biago who personally received the vehicle from the drug-related fellow or the group. Because as far as I'm concerned, the vehicle is saying in the DEA convoy, a convoy Biago uses. Does Biago know? Biago had no assurance, know the origin of that.
He's the head.
He's the head. The origin of that.
So the head is the recipient.
But so let us establish what I guess this is one of the things the security people are investigating. As to who received that vehicle on behalf of the LDEA before it is assigned to Biago's convoy. That hasn't been established.
Okay, I'm getting your point.
Yeah, you get my point, right?
Point, yeah.
That hasn't been established. Somebody must have received it, though.
But let's assume that even somebody received it.
Because one thing, before you come in, one thing Biago said in the statement, that still I remember, is that the vehicle that is people are talking about or mounting is mentioned in your posting on Facebook, and the vehicle I don't know about it. And being in my convoy doesn't mean that
You are aware of it.
If there's any other person in the DEA that receive it on behalf of the DEA, it is not mean that authorized.
All right, so let's ask the
So
lawyer.
it is not authorized.
Yeah, now come in.
That's
Let's
what
ask
Biago
the
said in the statement.
Let's ask the lawyer. Now, I'm sure you are still on the line. Can Biago be freed on grounds that he didn't maybe sign for the vehicle? They didn't know how the vehicle entered his convoy, yet he's the ORC. Can he be freed on that?
He can be free. He's the head.
No. So in that case, Biago also has a duty as well.
Okay.
So he cannot say he didn't have a knowledge of the vehicle, right? Because probably the video shows that he probably embarked on the vehicle, he disembarked on the vehicle. So there is some sort of connection to the vehicle. So whether he had a knowledge of the vehicle, that's one thing. As to whether he had the intent that the vehicle was used to procure drugs is another thing all by itself. So there are two different things we're talking about here.
So
and to be
require
criminally
investigation.
liable, there must be an intent, and there must be a knowledge, and there must be a control.
Okay.
That's where the investigation part of it. Now, but if in the event of the gift, it means that the mere fact that vehicle was given to was allegedly given to the LDA as a gift, there must be a deed to show that transfer from one agency or from an individual to the LDA. If there is no deed, it means that vehicle does not belong to the LDA and that should not implicate the DA. Now, but if there is a deed, then it means that the vehicle was actually transferred to the LDA, and then if it was not reported, the Minister of Justice had the responsibility for ensuring and asking questions why that was not reported. And failure of the Minister of Justice to report why it was not reported is a breach of duty of care, and he must be held.
Now, Representative Moluba, do you agree with him that he said that the Ministry of Justice, I can't remember, Moses, do you agree with him, Representative Moluba, that the Ministry of Justice also should have a share in what is obtaining concerning the vehicle that was seen in the convoy of the DA?
So what will you want to blame the Ministry of Justice?
Because, like you said, the Ministry of Justice has a responsibility to ensure to have a record of all vehicle and all assets and including vehicles that are being used by the police and the DA.
So remember now, the minister is not on the field, and those inspectors or those officers from the Ministry of Justice, they are now on the field to investigate vehicle use or vehicle whatsoever they use outside. The thing is this: you have operational vehicle. Government will assign vehicle to you. The Ministry of Justice will do that, assign vehicle to you. But if you have your own private vehicle, you will not expect the minister to come and do investigation.
No, but this is what he's saying. But right, the Ministry of Justice should know, based on this investigation, should know exactly, whether that vehicle in your convoy was acquired by the government or not.
You're saying it the right way, right? The vehicle now in caution could go through investigation to determine whether it was part of those assigned vehicles. When it's not part of those assigned vehicle, then there's an issue, right? But to just come on and say abruptly and say, look, because you may be one of those guys working, right? And they assign a car to you. You may have your own car. No one will determine whether the car came from a drug cartel or not. So you just have to go through investigation. This is the thing I laid down. That's the basis I laid down. I told you guys that we have to go through investigation to prove that it is direct. He says, floating around the indirect evidence. This is what he's doing. Through investigation, then we can determine that it is direct. Then we can penalize people. But without knowing whether what happened is direct or the video is direct, evidence is very difficult to say. Because you listen to Davis. Davis said that the quote-unquote Biago said that this vehicle came from another. He's not the one, right? So if possible, what if Biago got this thing from above and someone gave it to him? So Biago hold this thing, right? But then it was traced to link to the individual from the cartel. So can you just come on and say, look, we hold Biago? You have to go through investigation.
Okay, Moses, you wanted to come in there.
Yeah, I just want to say something quickly. Look, in leadership, what I know, this is what happens. When you take over an entity, when you take over an organization, when you take over a position, you inherit assets.
You're right.
When you inherit assets, it becomes imperative for you to know what you inherited and document them. So under no condition Biago can tell us that he inherited a brand new vehicle, but he doesn't know where this vehicle came from. The first question will be, as any good leader, look, I see that we have 3 cars here. Who these vehicles were assigned to before? These are questions that you need to ask for record purpose, so that tomorrow when an audit is done, you will say, I inherited 3 vehicles. But you didn't do that. You didn't speak about it. It is difficult for Biago to tell us that he had a vehicle that was assigned to him, moving him back and forth, but he never had no clue where the vehicle came from. That's my observation, gentlemen.
Okay, all right. Let's hear you. I'm sure you are still on the line. Let's hear your take on that again, because we'll have to transition.
So I do agree with Moses that there was been an audit of the different government assets when taken over, and that's where the responsibility comes into the report. So once you take over, you acquire the assets, you report. But there is also nothing wrong with the individual being questioned using the private vehicle, provided they inform their supervisor. And in this case, the DEA board supervisor is the Minister of Justice. Now, so if the Minister of Justice was aware that the vehicle belonged to Biago, then it's a private vehicle, there is nothing wrong with that. But the mere fact that we say that the question is not as to whether the vehicle is a private vehicle or not. The question that is now being investigated is whether the vehicle was gifted to the LDA. If the vehicle was actually gifted to the LDA, like I mentioned, there must be a deed. In the absence of the deed and the witness, it means that vehicle does not belong to the LDA. It's a private issue, and that must be an investigation between Biago and the person who actually gifted the vehicle. Now, if the vehicle was also registered with the Ministry of Transport, it means that when you go to the Ministry of Transport website, you have an online portal that allows you to register the vehicle. What that portal does, it does not allow you to check to see who is the owner of the vehicle. Now, how that information was acquired by the Ministry of Transport and released to individuals who are now released on social media is a breach of privacy and public personal information. That also raises a serious question that is far more higher than the drugs issue we're discussing. Meaning that every individual who has gone to the Ministry of Transport to register the vehicle, personal data can be released without access and protected by the government. And this is a serious problem that is beyond the $300 million process that we're discussing right now.
So in this light, who do you blame? Is it the Martin Colley, or is it the agent at the Ministry of Transport who released the information?
Well, there must be an investigation to show how that information was released, because first of all, you can go online and see that you can register the vehicle for a renewal process. You cannot check the detail of the registration of the vehicle. For example, if you have to register the detail, to check the detail of the vehicle, you must show who owns the vehicle, where is it registered, the VRN, the SASHI number, and all of those details. You cannot have that information except you are in the internal system. So there must be someone in the Ministry of Transport that must have released that information. And if that information was released from the Ministry of Transport, there is a breach of personal information. And it's not just transport-related information. It relates to all of the information we have across the country. It will be health information. And this is a serious problem. Remember now we have this issue where the U.S. government has signed a contract with the Ministry of Health for health-related issues. There is a personal information issues. If at the level of vehicle registration, the personal information of an individual can be released to the public like that, what about our personal information when it comes to health issues? That's also raised a question about why is it that even the vehicle registration was transferred from the Ministry of Transport to a third-party agency. And that's a serious issue around privacy that we have to focus on. That is far more beyond have security implication than the $300 million drug crisis that we are talking about.
All right. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your input on the program. We're about to transition. There's another, developing a story. Maybe if you listen, you can also contribute to that if you wish to. Now, Red, you are hearing about this Liberian Guinea border issue again. You understand? Yes, Resurrector, what are you hearing from the end?
Sober, I think
No, we asked him the. Okay, fine. Go ahead.
Sober, we just, I just saw a guy from my a journalist from Lofa who related to Spoon. I think we need to give the government a chance to come out with those information. I can just not rely on information just from the social media.
But you're from Lofa County now. You're from Lofa County. It shouldn't be a problem for you. I mean, there are people there.
Yeah, I call Lofa. I'm not hearing anything about the border except where there is a new thing going on today. But I called today. There is nothing much. So I think the government had the charge. The information minister will relate to us to give us the information concerning the border. So sometimes it's good to allow the government to come out with the narrative than to just jump up and speak on behalf of the government and say things that is not in line with public policy. Yeah.
Now, so in another word, you are saying that your people from your people back home didn't give you any information that the Guinean soldiers are asking our immigration to leave the border.
So, but also possible that when they went out the side, definitely the Guineans were not there at the time because it happened a day before. I'm talking about today when I communicated there to get some information because I have my father town is not too far from there. So when the individual went there on the motorbike, he told me that we still have the Liberians there. So I think I hold it at that stand that Liberian immigration officers are there. When there is any other different information, I think we'll receive it from the information minister. I'm not the information minister.
No, but that's a journalist who reported, as you said.
I said that, yeah.
He spoke with Prime, and not Prime, but Spoon.
Yeah.
And he said the Guinean soldiers have asked our immigration officers to push back, not to leave. But to push back. I mean, dress behind.
So when you dress behind, you still leave.
What I'm saying is dress behind and not totally leaving, but dress behind because they said they're coming to build something like a shelter or structure for them to sit, and that they told the Liberian immigration officers to push back, and then tomorrow they'll come back to the border to make sure that they do that.
Now, so with
that's what the journalist reported.
Now, so with that information, because in fact,
someone claiming to be journalist reported.
I also read on the website of Ulugisi, I think FM, and they reported similar story. Now, we've been hearing, and let me begin with you, Representative Morba. We've been hearing about diplomatic arrangement. Diplomatic effort by our government. If I'm mistaken, our president have had an opportunity to sit with the Guinean president on 2 occasions. There was a meeting held. In fact, the last time he came, he said, well, he believes that they were reaching the point of resolving the issues. In fact, there was also a press statement from the Ministry of Information that everything was calm at the border. And that press statement was, in fact, carried by our colleague sitting down here, David Taber, in his newspaper, that all was calm and things were on course at the border point. Now, to hear again this latest about Guinean soldiers asking our immigration officers to push back because they want to erect either a checkpoint or want to erect something else. It's a troubling to you.
Let me just say this. I would like to be frank with everyone as it relates to this discussion. Sober, one of the things we need to get away with is this propaganda on the social media, right? Going against people saying things, creating narrative, far from the truth, and try to bully other people. I remember that a few days ago, the president of Guinea flew from Guinea to go to Tokyo somewhere, and there were a lot of Liberians from the United States who they had video who were trying to bully the president by saying he's sick now, this and that. And this social media, I think, is something that everywhere around the world people monitor each other. Even the issue of our brother Yeke here, a lot of people in Freetown, when I went Freetown, they were asking me, high-ranking officers were asking me, say, oh, this Yeke issue, how is it? We are following the story here and there. So I think it was based upon what people did, right? I saw some videos. There is a guy called Francis Doe. He did a lot on the social media. So sometimes, because the president is not there now, but you have the militant, the military there, someone who is in charge now, and perhaps the person saw it to be like bullying their president, making fun of the president, and they try to just go in and create scene. I think it's something that we need to control as it relates to our Facebook posts and other thing. And I think this thing is not something that was planned, where the Guinean want to go and just push or to build anything. Nothing that we build. It's just like some anger, the aggression. People feel different with the video and say, "Oh, we got to do this," and to create the scene. And I think it will be handled. Let's leave it with the government. It will be handled. Yeah, because diplomacy is something that Guinea is part of ECOWAS. Guinea is also part of the Mana River Union. I think they would not like to lose their space. They want to be entire in relationship with their neighbor. Let's see how it works. But I trust the president of the Republic of Liberia. I really do trust him. And I also trust the armed forces, the head of the armed forces. I think they will do well. The security apparatus will do well. So let's leave it with them and see. When they give the information now, then we can discuss it. But for now, I suggest that we leave the government, because some security you cannot.
So are you insinuating that what is coming out of there it has no iota of truth? Is all you saying?
I think I'm not saying it's not true. It could be true, but what I'm saying is that based on the propaganda, right, the way in which people, with the issue of the Guinean president being sick, the way in which other people, Liberians from the United States, took it was all on the social media, almost like bullying the individual. And anyone could get annoyed and just wake up and do certain things. So sometimes when people have temper, you don't just rush to show aggression. You take time. I respect the president. I think the president have control of it. He will handle it. Yeah.
We've been hearing about this diplomatic effort more than 3, 4, 5 months now, and that's not been handled.
Yeah, let me tell you about diplomatic effort when it relates to border dispute. Sometimes it take more years, my brother. It takes time. Sometimes it will not be the government now. It may be the one that will take over, and you help people who believe in peace, in mediation. And when they come in, I think you can have solution. But where you have an aggressive leader and you try to show aggression, then you create conflict, a zone of conflict. And this is what I think Liberia will not want to go into.
If this really
coming, when one person is so high, you go low. I think you listen to the lady, Michelle Obama. When you high, I'm down, right? So yeah, I think that we need to think about. We are people of peace, right? We cannot just go with aggression. So I trust the president.
Comrade representative,
Yeah.
you are part of you are on record.
Yeah, you're right.
For writing your colleague.
Yeah, you're right.
Complaining former representative or representative Yeke Koroba, because I can call him former representative.
You're right.
The matter had not been settled completely in court.
You're right.
Now, if this happens, that yes, indeed, the Guinean soldiers have asked our immigration to push back, and that really came to fruition, where they push back and are you going to be disappointed that are you going to feel bad and to yourself that yes, I just picked wrongly on Yeke and complained wrongly because Yeke insisted that the land was for Guinea?
Let me say this. First of all, you have to look at the map. You have to look at the historicity of the border. There is nowhere on the map that tells you that that identical land for Guinea. There's nowhere. So the quote-unquote notion or belief or the narrative that this part of the border is for Guinea from Yeke, I think it was wrong, right? It was not in the interest of patriotism, nationalism. It was not in the interest. So let me say, so you went to school, right? You graduated, you attended the university, but not Yeke. So sometimes people just speak things to say. So I don't want to go into that nitty-gritty with the issue of Yeke. Yeke is my colleague, I respect him. But with the view of the border there, the land is for Liberia. It's ours, right? So whether somebody come and tell you, say, move from here, sometimes you give space and space. It happened in Northern America. People give space and space. Then you.
But why is something that belongs to you?
Let me land. This is why you have the international community. This is why you have different grouping, right? You have the ECOWAS, you have area to go for mediation, you have area to go for dialogue, right? So if someone tries to be hostile, you use the diplomatic approach. That's make you different. You cannot show that type of leadership or aggression.
Are you insinuating that Guinea
you are not a military
is
government.
displaying hostility? Is that what you?
They are military government. You expect that, right? They are military government. You are not a military government. Your government has to do with civilian. So you have to show that diplomatic approach. Show a big brother. Remember now, 1847, you are the audience. So you cannot go and just create a hostile zone. So what I'm telling you is that the government, I trust this government, they are doing well. They will handle that through negotiation and dialogues. Yeah.
Yeah, and Saba, you like to hear my opinion on this? Yeah, my opinion on it is that the insistence of gaining that portion of land is for it doesn't necessarily mean that it's for Guinea. It's for Guinea.
You're right.
That's one point. Another point is the fact that Guinea is being provocative in terms of the land dispute, almost like trying to fuel violence, provoking the government to bring in its army to engage them maybe physically, and that's what the expectation of many Liberians. Some Liberians, most especially from the opposition side, or even some of the Unity Party, they're thinking that because our government is taking a diplomatic path, our system is weak, our security system is weak. Liberians are afraid of Guinea. The kind of lower way of thinking. And diplomatic takes time. In fact, the ongoing diplomatic talks are not time bound.
You're right.
That in 2 months' time, the matter will be resolved. As we speak, Ukraine and Russia diplomatic talks are continuing.
You're right.
As we speak, Iran and the U.S. And Israel and Iran and how the other country. These diplomatic talks are continuing in these countries. What's about Liberia and Guinea? Diplomatic talks will always continue. The Liberian government president, Waka to be specific, will continue to make diplomatic overtures. I mean, with the Guinean authorities. But as he said, Guinea has a military government. And Liberia has a lot to lose. If it gets involved in violence with Guinea, then Guinea would lose. Liberia is a non-permanent member of the U.S. Security Council, the UN Security Council. So Liberia has a lot to preserve.
Okay.
So I guess this is why, in spite of gaining provocative or violent attitude, that will not lure the government into violence with Guinea. And that's what most of our Liberians should understand.
We're not support the government to go into violence.
That's my opinion on that.
All right, let's try to see what we can get a few calls quickly. 086-050507. Again, 086-050507 or 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. That's the number to call, and you are live on the Nighttime Heat. We've been looking at discussions concerning. Let's take this first caller on the line quickly. Let's hear you. Your name and where you calling from.
Good evening, and I'm Ezekiel Elobin calling from my Dubuque resident.
Let's hear you, Ezekiel.
So let me say something to we Nigerians. It's easy to damage things, but it's very difficult to build. I think on the part of our president, he's doing very well. We're not going to go in no trouble with Guinea. We are not going anywhere to cause any problem for our neighboring country. And we take the weaker approach. We call the authority involved or to resolve the incident for us to go and cause trouble for our neighboring country. And also, like if you know what we went through, some of us were born around here. We saw this thing, some of us were living that particular Guinea in Masantane. So we saw things. So we're not going to go back to the dark days. Thank you so much.
Many thanks. 086 050507 or 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. That's the number to call, and you are live on the program. Let's hear you.
Good evening, and my name is Lucas Woman.
Okay.
Calling from Broadway. Yeah, like my brother just said, on the border issue. And I learned that there's somebody went there and took a photo, and what the person explained is that where the Guineans were sitting, the river got put and the water was running where they were. So they came to ask the Liberian immigration so they can drive back so they can sit around the area of the air, and the Liberian could have said no. So they wanted to make a receipt from there, but then someone said that they pulled them from there, moving, they come to the daytime. Not to about information we get from there.
Okay. Let's take another caller quickly. Thank you. Let's hear you. Hello? 0778-460-793. Let's take this call on the line quickly. Let's hear you. Hello? Yes, hello. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much, dear brothers, and thanks to your panelists for the brilliant cross coordination on national issues, for the recognition for the public.
Get the child behind you too.
And I join you this evening for our unknown destinations. You see, first of all, I would like for the lawmaker to give honorable call by apologies. He said, when you fall down, don't blame where you fall down, but where you stump your toes. But why you must blame? When you get king of the thing, it was nothing that you can have any hatred against his own country that he dearly loved. But it was funny that he saw as a blowing fire, as a smoke that was under the fire. The fire occurring. As I'm talking now, there is no calm have been restored. There is no calm. The government only trying to play tabata with our people left. As I'm speaking now, I get from trapping phone for communication now with my relatives in Lofa Red, not far from the Solomon border. It is not easy. It's not easy. People are leaving their homes. People are leaving their homes. So government should not be making mockery other people left here and say that everything is on calm. Nothing is on calm.
Okay.
The Guineans are still putting our people back and say our people must vacate the Calicut conference.
Okay. Many thanks.
Yes.
Many thanks.
Is there any other question?
086. Okay. All right. You made your point already. 086-050507 or 0778 460-987. 983 rather, 0778-460-793, 0778-460-793, or 086-050507. Let's take this call on the line quickly. Let's hear you. Your name?
Yeah. Good evening. I'm Green with Connie from Broadway, to be precise, Christian community.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to the topic, to you guys for the topic on discussion. You see, Liberia is the only country we have. You can travel from here, any part of the world, but there is nowhere like a home. So we want to say to our government, this thing is about Okongo said something eating for a bar. He said when a man comes from to a house and defecate and enter your house and defecate on your floor, Okongo asked question. He said, should I look at that man and allow him to go? He said, no. He said, but what I will do for the man to know that yes, indeed, I am a man that he bragged with. I will take a stick and break this man's dogs. What I'm trying to say is that we were funded before any other country in Africa. It is Liberia that gave to the neighboring country for them to survive. Now, you come into Liberia, claiming the land, possessing it to take it, to say that, oh yes, indeed, the particular area is for you. You know what you're doing? Then our government official, if they don't want to run after it, let it see now, but they want to be giving all hope. Like Jonah was in the fish better. He was still having people because you are still having life. It's not what we're discussing about. But what we are discussing about that, if you give way, just leave it alone. But don't be bringing hope to the people. I say, yeah, oh, with the thing under control, which of course it is not under control. Day and night we're calling the day and night we're calling the, and our family keep telling you that it's getting worse than ever before.
Okay.
So
All right.
thank you so much.
Medicine 086-050507 or 0778-460-793. Let's take this call on the line quickly. Let's hear you.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Mark Wallace calling from South Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, let me say thank you for the show.
Mhm.
One of the things the lawmakers so be fighting our best la play the poor occupying so that they can help to go back into Guinea and leave the river for Labrador. The southern there, the poor are still over 6 months to the play. Nothing we hear from them. Then now the poor is requesting for another era. And he coming in the studio now to say that he's giving hope. So which one the hope that he's giving on? I'm going. We're not hearing any other thing to say, oh, the time the poor to the play. This is the article agreement that went through, so the poor trying to go back. But the poor are still there and now they claiming another side. Then you coming back now to tell people say everything on control. Which of course will get people into the since making poor and hearing all the things that they say. And you as a lawmaker now what will be listening to say something that will clean our hardness down, but don't tell us say more keep calm and we hearing the book here. I got the immigration outside one day to vacate that area. Then
Okay, all right, you made your point. Let's get the call on the line quickly. To give the poor one day. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Let me say good evening to you and good evening to all of the panelists on the panel. So this is William Covey, and I joined this conversation from the most represented district, number 3 in most of the country.
Okay.
So let me appreciate you guys so much for the discussion. Saba, I don't know what is the intent of some Liberians, right? When I hear them, trying to beat world drum and other things, wanting to, give false information to our people. What is the essence of blowing false alarm that the Guinean soldiers are taking over the border and are pulling back our security? And wherever we're hearing independent report from other media institutions who are doing their fact-finding and giving attention to their correspondent to give factual information to the Liberian people, we are not hearing that particular aspect that whole Guinean soldiers are taking over. Then you have few people said in Morovia, and you think there is about political party issue. So if you think you want to bring war down in this country, and you think even as a media institution or some of the media people because last time we listened to another media institution, they were the one that was blowing our false alarm. If a war was to enter in this country, God forbid, you were asking us to sit in your studio to discuss anything? You really think so? I don't really think. So even for some of the other people who think that they are opposition, so nothing good should happen in this country under the leadership of President Bouaka and that of the Unity Party, they pray for the worst thing to happen so they can say, oh yeah, you didn't want welcome in this country, but they're going to
Okay, all right, okay. Okay,
I think we need to be patriotic at times to national discourse.
Okay, all right, you made your point. Let's get another call on the line. Pascal Daly, you want to call on this line? You can call my private line, please. Let's hear you.
Yeah, hello, Saba.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, my brother? This is Lasana Science from District 17. I'm also from local county. I'm from the Salary District.
Okay.
Honorable Monova, thank you very much, man. Those guys that think it say this is CDC and the Unity Party story here. My brother, we don't want problem in our country at all. That's what the honorable man said. You got no apology to anybody. If you people are the headers of our country, if somebody can't fight off for our place, then you say, no, it is not for all, it's for them. Let me tell you something, Sabo. We don't want problem in Liberia. All those guys from the CDC angle that calling, explaining, talking against the representative in studio there. Lofa, we don't have any problem. I just communicated with my people there in Lofa. That's why the representatives saying inside there, they are all fine. No guy that's calling from the CDC angle, they think this is CDC and Unity Party. It's the Republic of Liberia. If any tension over there, my brother, would be right into here, DPDA.
Okay, all right, made a point. Let's get only 2 more calls and I'll wrap it up quickly. Then let's hear you. Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
This is Pascal Davis.
Let's hear you, Pascal.
I don't know whether you really want to do justice for all of us. So, CDC and people who love this country always believe in peace. That's why it was less than 1%, and we concede that. You wanted war in Liberia. You Unity Partisan people, you wanted war. That's why you did the worst to undermine our government. And you were even asking the American people to put sanctions on this country. That's how deceitful, wicked, and devilish you guys were. How are you pretending to be clean? When you are so wicked and wicked to the extent that even sent on to all of us that you were going to Simosia and Scraggle and taking ballots and putting it on the street. That's wickedness. Your wickedness taught you to be mad. Even in your action. They want to Guinea how the CDC make it. When you were money illegally on the Guinea's land, you went there to man.
Okay, you made your point. Let's get the last caller. Quickly, let's hear you.
Good evening, Mr. Josh.
Yes, sir.
Let me say good evening to our studio guest, Representative Sumo Moluba. Ali, particularly, me picking family are going from around the Kawa area memorial United Party that they just built. You know, let me say thanks to the representative, at least for making we the young people proud that at least the Liberian people can be able to trust young people. I will be able to go in our house there to think. You know, things around the world represented somewhere are very, very proud young men. And I'm praying to meet you one day at least to give me a flower in your life. Thank you very much.
Let's take the last one quickly. This last one. And let's hear you. Your name.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir.
I'm Emmanuel Feleme calling from Matari.
Okay.
Yes, you see, when it comes to love, there's no love among we the Liberians. I'm a man who we are importing in the house of God. Nobody that they were not importing. Why I come and tell you, you may not agree with me, you may say I'm a mula person for you. I'm missing Charles Taylor. Nobody can temper with the land. You can't make it. So I want to say, Jenna, we are not united, so we'll feed and wait for that.
Okay. Many thanks. Let's hear you. You are the last. Hello? Okay, this call is Dave. We are not taking additional calls. Let's hear your parting comments. And then we can reference some of our viewers.
Yeah, I'd like to make a few comments on Honorable Momba. Is it Molba, right?
Yeah.
Honorable Molba. I mean, he was dismissive of young people in the district who have some issues with him. And he said they're just in a minority. I think that isn't a sign of good leadership. If people have issues with you as a leader or someone would see as a leader, I think there's a way to meet them and talk to them and hear what they have to say and have it resolved as a leader. But if you sound so dismissive of their concerns, that suggests that it's a sign of dictatorship. Nothing you should listen to them. And regarding the issue of the dissolution of the community leadership, if he actually did that, that was wrong. Okay. Finally, Sabo, I've heard two callers from somewhere, and to me, they exaggerated the situation in Lofa. The picture they're painting, quoting their relatives and friends in Lofa, is the wrong picture. It's a wrong picture. I heard him say, "Oh, it's not easy in Guinea, Liberia." It's a blatant lie. A journalist reporter from Lofa, from that border, talking to the same spoon, they can always be quoting. But I personally listened to that interview. And the reporter said that nothing chaotic is happening at the Guinea-Liberian border. Nothing chaotic happening. And what he said is that the Guinean soldiers and our Liberian immigration personnel, they interacted. During the interaction, that's when the Guinean soldiers said they were going to return and the Liberian immigration officer should push back. And they were going to go there maybe next or maybe tomorrow. Or I don't know whether it was today they were referring to. Since that time, nothing new has been heard. And people calling and suggesting that their family people don't look for that thing, that it's not easy there. It's a blatant lie. Thank you. It was a nice program tonight. And
okay, thank you,
tomorrow
Dave. Thank you, Dave. And like we're just saying, Representative Small Molba is now being quoted by the Liberia Latest News TV just a few minutes ago, breaking that he said he supports the evidence produced by Martin Colley and Biago Lied. And we're just talking about that a few minutes ago. Now he's being quoted by, local, online news network.
And that's why, Sabot, I know that we're coming to close. That's why the fellow from Australia asked him whether he has a legal person in his office. That was a very important question. In fact, as a lawmaker, it doesn't mean that you studied law. So you should have somebody who will guide you in terms of the kind of legal issues. The investigators, I don't know whether Martin Colley's, so-called evidence have reached the investigators. I don't know whether the investigators have been verified and accepted to use those evidence or pieces of evidence that Martin provided. But a lawmaker is being definitive that almost like verifying Martin's evidence already when those evidence or pieces of evidence haven't reached the investigators and the investigator endorsed them that yes, the evidence has some, truth in them, we'll use them. There, we haven't reached that point yet.
Okay, let me hold you there. Let me hold you there. Tom has cut off us. Vinicius Junior, been following the program. Darling Prince, been watching also. Sam G. Walker, been watching. Ophelia S. George, been watching. Lawrence Macy, been watching. Roland W. Toll, been watching. Emmanuel Weir, been watching. T. Roosevelt Proud, been watching. From Apple City, my bro from the US, Clarence Corium, been watching, and the rest of you, we can call all of you. Join us tomorrow for another fascinating edition of the program. Like I said, I've been out of the program for the past 2 weeks. I've been trying to attend to my darling wife. And David Benedictus has been presenting the program. He did extremely well, Dave. Thank you again.
Thank you.
In this public manner, commending you. It means that sometimes I'll do the show just for 3 days and you do the last.
So my money has added up. My money has added up.
After then, Summer George is
my money has added up.
Join us tomorrow for another edition of the program. Have a pleasant time.